Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in and watching these short horror films with me, and as well as other type of content. Thank you so much for your comments, you guys, and thank you for subscribing as well. It really means a lot to me for you guys to just simply watch these videos and leave your thoughts and comments down below after the movies here, or the short films that we watch. So thank you so much. And today's video, what we're gonna do is check out another short horror film, and it actually has just been dropped by Buried Hatchet Productions. So I have checked out their content before, not too much of it, but I have already been checking out a little bit of their content, and I have been enjoying it. So this one I was definitely excited to eventually check out as soon as I saw it drop. It is called Inkarnate. So you know the drill. If you want to check this out on your own time, you can go ahead and click in that link in the description down below the video and watch it on your own time whenever you would like to. And also don't forget to subscribe to Buried Hatchet Productions if you like horror content just like me, if you want to check some more out on your own time. Other than that though, I'm going to check this one out and give my thoughts right after. And if you guys want to stick through the video all the way through to the end, let me know your thoughts as well. And also let me know if I missed something, or if you want to share something with me as well. I will always reply back as soon as I get the chance. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and jump into this one and check it out. Let's get scared. Oh, she's an artiste. So familiar, all of that. I got my little mannequin back there too. It's all the thought process, look. What to do, what to draw, what to paint. What is she gonna do? Let's see. She's working with ink, huh? Oh, nice! Looks like contour line. Now the hand. Flip the page. Ooh. Love that. Give each thing something else, like an imagination, or get imagination from each thing. That's very cool. Zombie hand. She's put like the thunderbolts up above, like when the hand comes out, you hear the thunder. Oh. Ooh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, that looks so painful. Everything that she drew is coming to life. Oh, girl. That foot though, man, is giving me like, anxiety. I've experienced a cut on my foot before too, and it's just, it's like the worst feeling. Because it's something you gotta step on, constantly. The bottom of your foot. Getting all paranoid over here too. Starting to hear sounds over here. Oh! She going. She's like, I'm never inking again. So that was like cursed ink, I guess. Oh man, that's a waste of ink. Look at all that. Oh! Hold the hand! Oh no! Oh man. Doesn't matter what she did with that, it was already alive through the illustrations. Wow. Alright, you guys, there you have it. That was Inkarnate. Let's talk about this really quick. So, from the beginning, we get this young woman in her room, and she's getting ready to draw something in her sketch pad, right? And so she grabs this jar of that has a label on it saying something like experiment, and it has like a number, right? Um, from that point on, I was like, okay, this is a jar of ink, but like I don't know why. At no point throughout the film, I was like suspicious about that label that it had. But now that I look back, I remember that little label that it had. Clearly, this was an experiment that, well, I don't know where the heck it came from, but somehow she got a hold of it, and this like ink experiment, or this experiment of ink inside this jar. She got a hold of this, and so she started making these illustrations, which, by the way, were really, really cool. I always appreciate watching something art related, like specifically with like illustrators, people that like to sketch and like to doodle and ink and do like things like that. So how they imagine new things based off of just little things that they see around them. And this is one of the things that I miss as an artist. Sometimes I overthink it and I just try to get it all from my head rather than looking around me and see if I can gather some inspiration. So I love watching all of this. This is one of the things that I caught in this film, and I loved it. I was like, I don't know if you guys saw me, I was smiling the whole time that this was happening because it was so cool and relatable. But we start to realize that these little illustrations that she's making are actually, they come to life. Like every event that's happening throughout this film is following the illustrations, and I thought that was really, really cool. So one of the things that actually stood out to me in this film is with the part where it was flipping through the pages, right, as the film progresses here, and we get to like what is it, the intro to this monster, this like mummified thing that's following her around in the house. It's like one of the things that caught me is when they show the sketchbook and they show the monster outside the door, and actually we can't see through the other side of the door, right? We don't know what's happening on the other side. We just hear like this thing banging, trying to get in. But on the sketchbook, it actually shows us what's going on. Like this thing is banging its head on the door. It's what I actually understood of it. That this thing is just banging its head like this, just banging its head back and forth on the door until eventually it can make its way in, right? But that was one of the parts that actually I really appreciated. Where again, we don't know what's going on behind on the other side, but we're seeing it through another type of lens, right? In this case, it's like we're seeing it through the sketchbook of what's going on. This is kind of how I caught it as a viewer. I may be off here, I'm not sure, but that's how I caught it, and I thought it was really cool. But let's go back, you guys, to the point where really quick where she's starting to draw this. There's a point where she's backing up and she steps on glass, right? Which I mean, you gotta admit that looked really really painful. That looks super real. Eventually she lifts up her foot. You see all this blood kind of like gushing out, like from under her foot there and going past the sock. And now all of a sudden, when she lifts up her foot, she's got this giant piece of glass in it, and she slowly starts to like pull it out. And my God, I think that was the most like anxiety inducing part. It really like made me clench everything. I just felt like the pain, and I know I was saying it right when I was watching this. I said I've had something like hit my foot before, under my foot, something like get stuck on my foot, and nothing that big, but like I've stepped on like spiky stuff. I've stepped on like really spiky rocks. I've had a bee sting on my foot, under my foot. Yes, it was horrible. So I have totally had that happen to me, and it was not fun. So as soon as I saw this clip, it made me remember all of that. So I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have been out there barefoot and have at some point stepped on something sharp. So I don't know if you guys have a story similar to this. Please share it with me in the comment section. I would love to hear your story. But yeah, that looked truly painful. But yeah, like after she pulls that out, she realizes that this is starting to connect to her drawings. And as the film progresses here, she starts to see like or hear noises in the distance, and so she grabs the bat and starts to like kind of become scared and all of that, like very suspicious of what's going on outside the door, right? Eventually she grabs this bat and she starts walking around the house seeing where these sounds are coming from. And so we finally get this big reveal of like this mummified guy like breaking through and then trying to make its way into her room. And so all of this is just it's like we get these shots like going back and forth, from the sketchbook to the actual thing that's happening, and it's all being connected, right? She starts to see the pages of her sketchbook flip, and all these like things that are bound to happen to her. And I thought this was super fresh to see, and I've seen a little bit of this before with like the what's it called, the model, right? I remember when I reacted to the model with the mannequin, and then you see its reflections on the sketchbook. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that one that I reacted to, but of course this one here was more showing like what's going to happen later on, right? Like kind of like telling her the future or something like that based off of her artwork. So that was really really cool to see. That was such a cool concept, and I was just like at the edge of my seat at that point. I don't know what the heck was going to happen, and I don't even know how she was going to get out of this situation. But then she realizes that she has to break the bottle of ink in order to get rid of this thing, make it disappear, right? So she starts to see like the sketches on her notebook and starts to understand what's really happening based off of the artwork, So she gets the bottle of ink, and then as soon as this thing breaks in, she grabs the bottle of ink and tosses it on the ground, shatters it, and all the ink is just flowing everywhere, right? And then again, this kind of shows us again the label of saying, when it says experiment on that bottle. And it kind of tells us like, hey, this was not a safe bottle to begin with, to use to draw. But yeah, I mean, that's when I noticed it again. I was like, hey, that the experiment label, But yeah, the ink starts to flow everywhere, and we all as audiences, as an audience, think that it's over, she's safe, we're good to go. But then the hand comes out of the ink, which from my guess is I connected back to the the first page where she drew the second page where she drew the hand coming out like this, a zombified hand. And I think that hand at the end connected to that, and eventually this thing takes her. And I mean, you guys, this was so well done. I mean, I like the whole, the acting here, the intensity of the entire scene, everything from like the point where she steps on the glass, everything just starts to become more intense. And that sounds that she's hearing, the connecting back to the sketchbook, from what's happening to the sketchbook, all of that being connected. I mean, that was just something I was really enjoying, and something I've not really seen before. I can compare it to that one I saw, the previous video of the model, but it was still very different. So this was all new to me, and I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought though down below. Was it more scary to you, or was it just more like gross to you? Or is there something that stood out to you more that I did not mention here? I think for me, the design of the monster that they had like chasing her was a really scary design. And I love the fact that it was like it was going so fast like towards her and trying to get her in a violent way. Even when she shut the door, like this thing was just banging on the door violently, and that made it even scarier. So I thought that was really well done. Very, very well executed. It kind of looked like a mummified type of creature or whatever this was. And again, I have no idea where this ink came from, but I would be interested to know, like, if any of you guys know, down, you can let me know in the comment section, but I have no idea where it came from. But in the end, you guys, those are my thoughts. What did you guys think? Let me know once again in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe if you guys really enjoyed this video. You know that there is more to come. There is more art to come. There is more reactions to come, and try not to laugh. And I want to do some gaming in the future. But I'm not into PC games. I'll be honest with you guys. I really love, what do you call them? Like apocalyptic games, and very realistic graphics. Like I love realistic graphics. Examples I can give you guys is like what do you call Hellblade, The Last of Us, of course. That's like the popular game, a lot of people know that one. And then Days Gone, that's a great gameplay as well. And I have a couple other ones back there in my collection that I love to play, that are Evil Within, that are more realistic, on the realistic side, and very, very horror filled, or just like apocalyptic, all these elements in there. So those are my favorite types of games. If you guys know some that I have not mentioned ever in like my entire series of videos, you guys mention them down below. Even if I have mentioned them, I just probably forgot now. Mention them down below, and I will consider to playing those in the future, when I game. So I really want to do that for you guys. But until then, we're doing that in this channel, you guys, and so I'm just gonna keep going. So thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. I really, really am grateful. You guys have a great day. Stay cool, drink lots of water, and take care of yourselves, all right? I'll see you guys on the next reaction. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.